Hi everyone, welcome to the video. This one is on our brand new Windows pack. I say new, it's been out for a couple of weeks now, but I thought it was about time I made a quick video on it because it's been, at the moment, probably one of our most popular packs. So yeah, I thought it deserved its own video. So like I say, we make a lot of packs. We don't often do this, but this one is a bit special. So this is our Windows pack. So let's just actually go around and bring it up so you can see what we're talking about. So yeah, over 1,400 games in this pack. It's about 1.7 terabytes in size. So it is big, but don't worry if you haven't got enough space or that scares you. We have packaged this slightly differently now, so you can actually download individual games and pick and choose what you want. So, but we'll come on to the boring techie bit at the end. Let's for now let's look at the games that are in here. So like I say, yeah, over 1,400 games, and a massive shout out to our member Ransom for putting this together. And obviously he had help. This is his brother as well helped him on this one, so massive shout out to his brother. And also there's various people that helped on here, all mentioned in the in the release notes. But obviously there's our own team member Spirit, who then took the massive collection that the Ransom put together and converted it so it will all work on Batocera as well. So basically put it into the wsquashfs file format, which is basically a compressed file format. And so you can basically take the pack, you can drop it into Batocera, and you can drop it into Windows as well. So RetroBat, so runs on Windows and runs on Linux basically. So yeah, so I mean they run slightly differently. Batocera supports the wsquash file system natively, so it can run a game, and basically mount that file and read from it straight away. Windows has to decompress it first, but we'll come on to the options there in a second. For now, let's have a quick look in here. So like I say, there's a good mix of games in here. There's loads of different genres. There's kind of like large commercial games. There's ones from small developers or individuals that are just one-man band type people that have created games, and like community created games, and just Ransom spent so long putting this together, and just there's so many great games in here. I mean, there's obviously games I've never heard of or never seen, but just all look so much fun to play. So let's have a quick flick through here, just so you can get an idea of the kind of types that we've got. And as always, there's full artwork for everything. Everything's got video snaps. It's all in the right size. All 3D boxes and the logos, etc. The only thing right now that's not in here that some people have mentioned is the 2D box. I know we've got in the middle here, we've got the 3D box showing, and I think obviously that works quite well in this theme, but a lot of people do prefer the 2D box. So also Ransom's working on Volume 2 and Volume 3 of the Windows pack, so bit of a spoiler there, but yeah, that's coming at some point. But what we might do at that point is work out how we release them, so whether pack Volume 2 is added into here or it's a separate pack, or quite how we do that. And at the same time, hopefully we'll look to release a 2D artwork pack for Volume 1, so you can have the option to switch to 2D boxes if you want to. But for now, like I say, it's all 3D boxes. But yeah, guys spent a long time putting all these together. Obviously, a lot of these don't have the logos or the 3D box artwork with them. They've had to create them manually. So yeah, massive effort. So I'll just scroll through a little bit. Like I say, there's 1,400. So I'm not going to go for every single one, but yeah, you get the idea. I'll start scrolling through page at a time. Yeah, same different types of game. So if I do a quick search, I know if I search for red, I'm going to get a good mix of games. So yeah, things like Burnout Paradise, so like I say, large popular commercial games are in here. Day of the Tentacle, it's obviously the remastered version, but still a classic. Bit of DuckTales. What else have we got down here? Gods. Again, Need for Speed 2 Underground. Another commercial popular game. Red Dead Redemption as well, another very popular game. So like I say, there really is a real good mix of sort of old and new. I think these are more, I guess the pack is more of a modern pack. It probably goes back to, I guess, the 2000s and onwards. If you're looking for sort of older stuff, we've got the recently released Windows 98 pack. It's about 111 games, and that's more of that Windows 98 era. type games. We've also got DOS pack. I mean, the DOS pack we've got at the moment is probably a bit old, and we're looking to refresh that, and that is coming soon as well. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, like this Windows pack, like I say, it's probably more sort of 2000 onwards type games. But yeah, real good mix of remastered Tomb Raider is in here as well. So let me just go back. So let's actually launch a game. And I've got Alien Breed. So I'm just going to play this. It tells you at the bottom left there that it's launching the actual wsquash file. So what it does is actually decompresses it. And I think with this one, I have played this one before, so I've still already got the decompressed file there, so it's going to launch straight away, which is probably a good demo. What I'd quickly do when this is finished is I'll launch one that I haven't launched before, and you can actually see that decompression process happen. So it's going to launch full screen, so might get captured on the recording, I'm not sure. Because it's gone full screen, you might not, so I'm just going to close out in case you can't. Don't look at black screen, do you? So that's finished, it's going to come back. So let me just try one that I haven't run before. Pretty sure I haven't. Just so you can see the process. See, now you've got the message saying it's decompressing. Hopefully you can see that okay, and you get progress bar. Although it's shot full screen, so it's probably cut off a little bit. But so this is what it's doing now, is basically taking that wsquash file, you know, which I gotta say, you think of that as a 7-zip or a zip file. It's just decompressing it into a folder, and then once it's decompressed, it's going to run it. And like I say, in a minute we'll come on to the more technical side, and I'll show you there's some options of you can get it to keep the decompressed content, so the next time you run the game it's instant, or you can say keep it or delete it, or prompt. So each time you close the game, it'll say, do you want to keep it or delete it? And you can choose at that point. So you might want to choose to keep some of the games that you're going to play again, and maybe not keep ones that you might not play again. I guess it all comes down to disk space. If you've got a ton of disk space, don't worry about it. Just leave it to keep all the time, and just makes it quicker next time. But like I say, this does take it depends on the size of the game, and this is more of a bigger game, so it's going to take a while. I think it was over a gig. But yeah, so for the very big games, maybe something like Red Dead Redemption, that's going to take a while to decompress the first time. So, and sometimes it can just sit there and you think, oh, is it hung? Is it doing anything? But you trust me, just wait, and it will finish. Like I say, that is just the large games. There's not too many of those. But it's gone off screen now, but so you probably can't see it on the capture. But it is just going. Now it's finished, and now it's going to launch the game. Well, and it's the first time I've run it, so we've got a Windows security pop-up saying, "Are you sure you want to run this?" Just say, yeah. If you get any pop-ups about Windows security or Windows firewall, just allow it. It's nothing dodgy. It's just that some of these games are kind of like multiplayer games, so they want to talk out on the internet. If you want to join an online game or download online content, that kind of thing, so they're going to prompt to go through the firewall. So again, I don't know how much of this you're getting, so I'm just going to quickly close out. And that's it, and then it'll close back again. And it's much the same process on Batocera, although you won't get that decompression, because like I say, Batocera is better. It's different. With Linux, it supports that wsquash file system, so it basically mounts it and read straight from it. And then if you make any changes to the settings or you save game progress, it'll write that back to a separate file, and then mount that next time you play the game. So, but anyway, let's see. I'm just going to flick back to a screen that doesn't produce sound, so I can hear myself think. Yeah, so the decompression stuff. If you go into the RetroBat menu, go to Game Settings, just scroll down this list here, and you should find compression. So like I say, you got two options in here. So I've got one on keep at the moment. So obviously this applies to anything in squashfs, not just the Windows pack, but any other system you've got where the emulator can read a compressed file, but has to decompress it to play the game. You can set these settings. So like I say, you've got auto, which I'm pretty sure in this case just is this top option, which is ask. So like I say, you play a game, when you finish, it will say I've decompressed a whole bunch of stuff. Do you want to keep it or not? And it depends how much disk space and stuff you've got. Or you can say always keep it or always delete it. If you're if you're a bit short on disk space, you might want to pick this one. But yeah, so you can change that option there. So that might be handy for a few people. Decompression path is here. You can just specify a path. I'll probably change it at some point. The default should be here. Should be into the ROMs/Windows folder, and it'll. I think it creates a hidden folder, like a .uncompressed, something like that. It's called, where it puts the content into. But you could change that to somewhere else. Maybe you've got, it's quite a large collection. Maybe you've got it on a traditional spinning hard drive, but you've got a faster SSD, or something like that in your machine. You could point decompression path to a temporary folder on there, and then it will decompress to that faster drive, and obviously be faster, hopefully faster to decompress, and obviously quicker to read as well for next time. So that's an option to keep an eye out for. So they're probably the only options that you might want to look at. They're not essential, but they're optional ones to look at. So apart from that, the game will just play. So yeah, an amazing pack. Thought it was worth a video, and probably worth just showing sort of the more technical side. So if I just close out of here for a second, and just to show you, so here's what the actual ones look like. Some of you may notice a lot of my files are 0k in size. That's because this machine I'm recording on didn't have enough disk space for the whole pack, so I've copied them across with a 0k size, so they still show up on the menu in RetroBat, but don't take up the disk space. But I have copied across the real versions of these 3 games, ones I've just been launching. So just if you're interested, you can look inside these. You can actually open them with 7-zip. Open archive. Helps if I click on the right one, not the 0k file. So open archive. So this is what's inside it. Like I say, it's basically, you think of it as a zip file. So the actual game is in this game folder. You can see this is the biggest one. So here's all the files for the actual Alien Breed game itself, and I think within binaries, there's the actual executable to run the game. So I mean, if you wanted to use this elsewhere, or you want to take the game and just stick it on another PC, you could in theory just come into here and just extract that game folder out and put it somewhere else and play it. These other bits and pieces, the drive C and the DOS devices, these are needed by Batocera. So as I say, it uses Wine, which it's not an emulator, it's an app, I guess you call it, which basically lets Linux run and understand Windows native applications and games and run them on Linux. So like I say, it needs these, so you can ignore these. This is like a C drive with some files. You'd recognise this like a Windows C drive that Batocera and Wine uses to launch the game. And then in the root you've got an autorun.cmd, which is what both RetroBat and Batocera look at, and that tells it where to find the game and what executable to use. So we just open up this. So tell it look into the games/binaries where we just were, and run alien read impact.exe to run the game. Simple as that. So like I say, Spirit went through and compressed all these up, created all these autorun.cmds and tested each one to make sure they run. And, in over 1,400 games, that's quite an impressive effort. So yeah, amazing work. So yeah, that's what they look like. Just if you're interested. And like I say, the other thing that I'm going to just show you quickly is on the downloading. Like I say, it's a big 1.7 terabyte pack, and everyone's thinking, "Oh, I've got space for that." Some people will be fine, other people haven't. But and other people might just think, "Well, there's a lot of games that I'm probably not interested in. I might want a few, and there's some that stand out." So you can do that. You can be selective. Like I say, we've done this slightly different than other packs. Normally with other packs, they'll be in one big zip file or a couple of zip files. You need to download the whole pack, expand it. And then if you wanted to, you could then pick and choose what games you want out of it or what ROMs you wanted to keep, but you'd still need the space to download the whole lot. So let's say we had a 500 gig pack, and obviously you need to download it and then extract it as well. So and when it extracts, it's going to probably get a bit bigger, be compressed slightly. So let's 500 gig, you need that 500 gig again, so you're going to need over a terabyte free space temporarily to download and extract the pack. And even then, obviously you'll claim back some space when you delete the source, but with the provider we use, obviously they have rules around seeding, so they like you to seed for at least 48 hours anything you download, just to help share and help other people get it and help get your ratio up. So yeah, if following the rules there, you won't be able to delete the source straight away, so you would need a lot of space. So that is why we've done it differently with this pack. Each file, like I say, it's handy that they're in this format because it means we've got one file per format, one file per game. So what we've done, I'm just going to pause quickly and switch over to the torrent client. Okay, so here I am looking at torrent client. So I've got the Windows pack in here, and you can see 1.7 terabytes in size. So a quick look, we've got nearly 50 seeds online, so still well seeded, and a lot of our packs should and will be well seeded, so don't worry about that. So if we go to the content tab, so obviously this might look slightly different depending on what client you're using. I'm using Qubit Torrent here. Obviously this is the web interface to it, but you should have a similar option in whichever client you're using. Obviously we recommend Qubit Torrent. This works really well for us. But anyway, so you go to the current content tab, you'll see this is the whole content of the torrent, and like I say, some of the other ones, like this, our Singe pack here, we'll do this as an example. You can see they're all in zip files. So in order to extract any of these, you'd have to download everything, open up the zip file and extract it. Whereas with our Windows pack, everything's done individually. It takes a few seconds to load because it's quite big. So when you first get it, it probably looks like this, but what you can do is just untick it. Obviously it's saying 100% because I've got everything there, but what you can do is just come through and just tick, I want that game, that game, that game, and see it's changing it from do not download to download. Or you can change the priority as well, but normal is the default. So the only thing I'd say is if you can do it this way, is a bare minimum you want the media, so all the artwork, and you want the game list.xml, which is very important. So it's only a tiny file, 1.6 MB, it's a tiny file, but the game list is what lists all the games, tells it, has all the metadata, release date, description. It tells it where to look for all the different artwork for it. So really important that you get this. If you downloaded just some games in the media, dropped it into your RetroBat folder or Batocera folder, and then started your front end, if the game list didn't exist, it will create one for you, but it'll be quite empty. It'll just list the games. It won't have all the artwork information. So make sure at the very minimum, you want the game list. And if I scroll down, it's quite big, so it takes me a minute. If I could tell the alphabet. Or is it going to show at the top? No, it must be at the top, I'm blind. Anyway, there's a folder called Media. Where is it? There you go. about 8 gig. So yeah, at the very minimum, you want the media folder, because like I say, I think I can expand. Can I expand it here? No. But anyway, inside the media folder is all the artwork, the box artwork, the logos, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, at a very minimum, tick this one and tick the game list. Just go to that filter now. And then once you've got those two selected, you can then go through and tick any other games you want, and then like I say, just download the individual ones. So, and then obviously that's all you need. And then once you've got them downloaded, you don't even need to decompress them. You just literally take them, drop them into your ROMs folder under the Windows subfolder, and away you go. So yeah, so I think it's much better doing it this way. Lets people pick and choose. Mine's going a little bit slow at the moment. If you want to pick everything, obviously you just tick the box and let it select everything. So, which is what I've got. And obviously for me, everything's 100% because I've downloaded it. But yeah, so that's what I want to point out on the download side. You can do it individually. You don't have to download the whole lot, so don't worry about that. So yeah, I think that's it. That is the Windows pack. Like I say, it's an amazing pack. So big, so much time and effort's gone into this one. So yeah, another shout out to Ransom and his brother, and Amok as well, and obviously Spirit. So yeah, big effort, big team effort this one. But yeah, the main man was Ransom. He's been working on this for a long time, and like I say, yeah, there was a few games I think we had to leave out because simply they didn't work on Batocera. About 30 games I think from the original pack, because yeah, it was originally around about 1,500 games, but yeah, it did shrink a little bit. But obviously those games we're working on, and like I said, there's a Volume 2 and a Volume 3 in the works. So those 30 odd games, we'll hopefully get them in for the next volumes. And then, like I say, some people were asking about 2D artwork pack, because at the moment the 3D artwork pack is in there for all games, but not 2D. I know some people do like the 2D, so what we do is for the next volumes is look to create 2D for obviously volumes 2 and 3, but also create a 2D box art pack for volume 1 as well. So then you can have the choice, and obviously we can explain it at the time, but the way we've done it in the past is make sure that they're named the same, so that you just have a folder that contains the 2D and another folder that contains the 3D, and to switch between them you just rename the folders. Whichever one is called thumbnails is the one that's going to be used, so you'll end up with a thumbnails folder and either 2 other folders called 2D and 3D, and you just rename them, switch them out, and then RetroBat or Batocera uses whichever one is called thumbnail. So yeah, and as long as all the files inside them are named correctly, the same file type, they're all PNG, then it will just work. So anyway, starting to ramble on now. So but yeah, I thought it was worth showing the pack because yeah, it's been very popular. So yeah, obviously there's more packs in the works. Like I say, the Windows packs are coming, but there's also other ones as well. I don't want to give anything away, but there are definitely more packs coming. So I think yeah, we've got well over 200 packs now. We've got all the main systems covered, but yeah, there's other new systems coming, or old systems that were discovered and that have been introduced, or there's reworks of the existing ones where the existing pack we've got is okay, but it's missing some artwork, or we've since found some missing games, or found some some special versions of games and conversions, that kind of stuff. So some of the older packs are getting revamped as well and updated and improved. So yeah, keep watching, keep following Discord. Like our Discord is our main place where we you can chat to us and we announce bits and pieces, and there's stuff on there, little fixes and updates and that kind of stuff, and what's coming. And also you can ask any questions, any kind of support questions if you've got any issues. Yeah, Discord's the main place. Obviously the invite link will be in the description. Got a little Facebook page going as well, just to kind of raise awareness, and everyone's on Facebook looking at, not everyone's on Discord. I mean, so yeah, if you're not, jump on there. It's just a community type app for chatting and stuff. So if you haven't seen it before, have a quick look. It's free to join as well, and that's the thing. We don't make any money out of this. We don't charge anything. There's some people that there's been some people that have taken our build and sold it for money, which obviously is disappointing, but we can't. There's not much we can do about that. But yeah, if you've got an RGS build, either RetroBat or Batocera, and you've paid for it, ask your money back, because it's freely available. Freely available through Discord and through the various links. So you shouldn't be paying for retro gaming. That's not the idea. So yeah, if you haven't, come in, have a look on Discord and say hello and join. Obviously we've got this channel as well for YouTube videos and sort of demos and that kind of stuff, and informational type stuff. So if you haven't, please subscribe. That'd be really great. Spread the word. And yeah, so now I'm back, hopefully making a few more videos, and I will see you shortly.